we're joined by our runner-up, Katie Hopkins. I've got to say, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Because who would have thought this would have happened?
No one. Not even me. No way. No way.
Especially on launch night. You came out of that eye, and my God, did you get booed?
I did. I think I was the most hated housemate in the history of people going into the house. So knowing that, I guess sometime in there we found that out.
But you kind of thrive off that, don't you?
Yeah, that's a territory I know. Yeah. That's a territory I own. I stand up for what I believe in. I still believe all those things. I am a tough old bird, but I am used to the booze. I wear big old boots. I wear the gear and I'm good.
Boot boots.
I wear boots because it allows me to be a tougher old bird. Yeah.
When you came out, though, still booze, but quite a few cheers.
Yes, I know. I'm not so good with that whole thing.
I was going to say, we found her Achilles heel. She doesn't like compliments.
No, and all these years of people calling me horse face, Princess Anne, you look like the white chick, you've got a big nose, they kind of totally missed the point, which is that if you're nice to me, that crucifies me every time.
Take that suit of armour off and take those boots off, and how nice is it to hear those cheers?
Yeah, no, it's really kind, and it is great to come
The
second.
hands are starting. We've noticed this in the house.
There's a lot of hands.
Let's talk about your plan going into the house. Did you have one? Were you planning to be controversial, Katie? Or was it, do you know what, let's show the UK the side that they don't know?
Oh, no. No, it would be much more about being consistent, saying the same things I've always said, being true to myself, which is that I am quite tough. My opinions are quite hard. I am fairly to the right. I'm not a loony left-winger. But fortunately, Celebrity Big Brother had been kind enough to place a complete and utter in the house, so I was able to look less of one.
We'll talk about the person I kind of think you might be talking about in just a minute. But the Perez show.
Yeah, the Perez
show. It was a pretty big thing, to be honest. And Hilton versus Hopkins has been a very big thing. So what has it been like starring in the Perez show?
I like to see it more as a Perez making complete of himself at most times. And I think it was good that I was in there in order to kind of be his adversary, to take him on, to pick up his bunny and smash it against the wall. And any time that I felt he was picking on someone, doing something unkind, putting down my best friend Alexander, being a bully, I would take him on. And I kind of enjoyed that role.
So if Perez had not have been in there, what Katie Hopkins would we have seen?
Yeah, I mean, if Perez hadn't been there, very likely I would have still been everybody's least favourite person and a complete cow.
So he's kind of, as much as you don't like him, he's done you a favour, maybe.
Yeah, he's done me a favour, because probably if he wasn't the biggest I may have been the second biggest so that could have happened. And I could see that all the way through, to be fair.
OK, we saw him stage a walkout.
Oh, yes.
You seemed really happy.
I was super happy. I felt like I'd slayed the dragon. I felt like I was the white knight in shining armour. I was kind of, yes, that's it, we've got rid of the complete and then you guys gave him the power of information and sent him back. And for that, I blame you.
Me personally?
You personally.
Do that to me, just so I feel like you've really given it to me.
I blame you.
OK, how did he affect you? Really and genuinely, when he came back into the house?
It's just like, for all the ladies in the house and some gentlemen that live with ladies, it's like having thrush, except there's no pill for it and there's no cream. You can't get rid of it. It's irritating every day. There's no scratch you can itch. There's no way you can cure it. It's there all the time, and it just makes you want to do this.
But did you enjoy having a sparring partner? Because as much as you say you don't like him, I think you'd have obviously come across probably as the worst one in the group had he not have been there. But at times, Katie, you did seem to enjoy it in the fact that you were running around the garden like it was Benny Hill.
Yeah, you need a sparring partner in the house.
But did you know that the two of you were making great TV, so you did it even more?
No. I think it was always a case of if I felt he ever went for someone that wasn't prepared to stand up for themselves, because a lot of people just want to be loved, I would take him on every time.
But what is wrong? You did seem to target people who wanted to be loved, who didn't have an opinion.
Oh, for goodness sake.
But what is wrong with that?
Oh, you can't just... That's not about being in the Big Brother house. There's too many people sitting on the fence. But too many people wanting to be loved. It's not just being in the Big Brother house, it's life. If you can be extremely opinionated, then they can be the other end of the spectrum. Switzerland!
And be less opinionated.
Switzerland.
That's life,
That's
Katie.
not... That's not life, that's Switzerland right there. You can't continuously sit on the fence. You have to say, I'm calling this one.
But they didn't sit on the fence all the time.
Most of the time.
They did stand up to you at times.
But then they would say, I don't care about winning this, and then the minute they were nominated, they were crushed underfoot.
But does that matter? Does that mean that they wanted to win it? Or does that mean that they want to be liked? There's nothing wrong with being liked. Just because you don't like compliments doesn't mean there's anything wrong with wanting to be liked.
I think too many people were going under the parapet in order not to be nominated. Because let's remember, all the way through this, we've been nominated. I've been nominated every damn time. I've packed more suitcases than a concierge in a hotel.
Yeah.
So I've been nominated,
but
nominated,
is that because
nominated,
you're constantly thinking of the game?
No.
Whereas maybe they're
That's
not
just
thinking
because
of the
I'm
game.
ballsy and I will not allow other people to be targeted by a complete of an American. That is not what I'm going to do. Whereas other people go under the parapet, safe, 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 and make it through to the end. And that's just not my style.
Oh, you did make it through to the end.
I know.
But you were ballsy.
I was ballsy.
And opinionated and sometimes rude.
And I had stuff to say, unlike Pricey, who frankly has been boring as hell.
She stood up to you, though.
Not much.
Listen,
boring.
As much as we've gone at it right now, I do think you've been phenomenal. And as much as you infuriate me on telly, I love meeting you in person.
Thank you.